Hey guys, it is a recap right now of what went down today. This it like came out of left field and it was a complete roller coaster, complete up and down. What? Oh, geez, what do we? I don't even know what. Like, it happened so quickly. I like don't even remember where we even started the morning. I feel like. I think the first thing we started off with was David Bakhtiari getting released. I made a quick short about it. Basically, the second it broke. Maybe I'll just like go into a little bit more now. My initial thoughts. Again, we knew this was coming, or it felt like it was coming. At the same time, I was wondering if maybe they weren't going to release him. Maybe they were trying to find a trade partner. I really don't know why they kind of waited. Other teams that let go a lot of guys or said, "Hey, we were gonna let them go once the new year starts," but they waited. So I'm wondering why. My guess is they were trying to look for a trade partner. I have a feeling that obviously they probably called the Jets, but my guess is the Jets didn't want to give up anything because they were like, "Hey, listen, you're going to cut him," and that was it. I think he's $20 million off of the cap, so that is pretty big. But man, did I love David Bakhtiari. Listen, I know the last 3 years have been tough as a fan to root for him. But to be honest with you, like they gave him that contract because he deserved that contract. Now remember at the time when he got that contract, he was the highest paid left tackle in the league, and he was the best at it, more or less. And I feel really bad for him because you had never heard reports that were saying like he's not trying, right? You never heard reports that he was overweight or that he wasn't trying to play. It always had sounded like kind of murky that the coaches and people didn't really know what to say because they didn't like really know what was going on. It sounded like so. I feel really bad for him because and when it's like he was trying to get ready to play every single week. It never seemed like he wasn't. And it seemed like even during the off season, he was trying to get ready to go. And like he would always be posting videos of him working out and getting ready. But it just seems like his body stopped responding, at least right now at this point. Stopped responding to the recovery and then whatever he was trying to do to get his body ready to go. But he was like the best left tackle, and he was also part of that older group, that older crew, that different era of Packer history, like the sit-ins, the like just that whole group. But the Brian Bulagas, like that whole group was very special. They had a very like hard hat, workers pail shovel, like whatever you want to call it, mentality to them. So it's tough to see him go. But I know a lot of fans are excited to see him go because of the cap hold and the constant up and down. But when he was in there, man, couldn't root. So much fun to watch. Great player. Even though, like, as a left tackle, you're not really watching exactly the left tackle when you're watching on TV. But, just overall, all in all, it seemed always like a great guy and also a great player. And then after that, we got the Tyler Davis resign, which made like no news, which is fine, I guess, because he is coming off of an injury. The Packers have a lot of tight ends, so he's really gonna. I don't know how much he's really gonna play into this. He's what their third or maybe even fourth tight end at this point, because they do have Musgrave, uh, Tucker Craft, Ben Sims, and Tyler Davis. So we'll see how this all plays out. Then the big shocking news started to roll. We got Josh Jacobs, which I think is a great idea. He did not play he did not play with very good pieces when he was in Oakland last year. So I know, like, I remember at one point I was like laughing at the deal that he had gotten because remember last year's running backs were all going through that whole deal of, hey, I'm gonna get um we want big money. Nobody wanted to pay the big money, so all they all got franchise tag. But I I didn't think he was worth the money at the time. But then you look back, he didn't really have a quarterback to play with, right? I don't even know who quarterbacked for them. I know it was Jimmy G for a while, and then like they kind of were up and down. He like seemed to get it going a little bit like later on, but it wasn't enough to replicate his previous year where he was an All Pro and led the league in rushing. But I do like the fact that he is 26 years old. I kind of forget about that because I thought he was much older, but he is 26 years old, and he got a 4 year, was it 4 year, 48 million, I think, so almost about 12 APY. But we all know that due to the accounting math, the wiggles and the wobbles, it's not going to be that. So we know the number is going to be adjusted, and they're going to find ways to move the money around. And but I'm excited, man. I'm very excited to see what he can bring to the table. And with that being said, it felt like for a little bit that we were gonna go and get Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones together, and it was gonna be who you gonna stop, pick your poison, this and that. And there were reports that they were gonna rework uh Aaron Jones' deal, and then like 10 minutes, like maybe what, a half an hour later, it was like Aaron Jones has been released, and I'm pretty sure I had a dagger stabbed right through my heart. It hurt. That one hurt. Um, I really liked Aaron Jones. I said it in my previous short. I loved Aaron Jones. I did not know who he was coming out. I remember when they drafted him. I had people who were like, "Who the hell is this kid? Like, why did we draft this kid?" And I remember I looked it up, and they were like, the had the most rushing yards in UTEP history. I was like, okay, like that's a little bit exciting. And then I remember he's played the first few games, and I was like, oh, yo, this kid's got a little bit of kick to him. This kid's got a little bit of speed to him, and it was so exciting. And I remember we, as Packer fans, as a fan base, were like, give the ball to Aaron Jones. Mike McCarthy, give the ball to Aaron Jones. Give the ball to Aaron Jones. And he was just like, for some reason, they played so conservative. They would just wouldn't give him the ball, or they would give him the ball, but they was very limited. It's like they were like, hey, Liz, dude, 10 snaps today. That's it. That's all you're getting. You're not going over. You're not going less. 10 snaps, that's all you're allowed to get. And then after that, even when Matt LaFleur was here, it seemed like the Packers always knew that he was good. He was talented. He could run the ball. Uh, They just wouldn't give him the ball. I can't tell you how many times I would make sure to get Aaron Jones the ball. And it was like, I think the magic number at the time was like 18 touches. If he got 18 touches, the team was undefeated that whole season. It's like 2021, I think it was. They were unbelievable every time he touched the ball. But then after that, like I will say, as much as I love Aaron Jones, and as hard as it is to see him go, and I wish him all the best of luck, the whole story with his father and the chain going missing, and just his aura and his mantra, and he always just seemed like a fun, lovable guy that like if I met him in the street, he would say, "Hey, what's up?" Like he always seems like he was a cool guy, um, high character guy. But like again, as much as I want to say like I enjoy him, I get what the Packers are doing from a business and from an organizational standpoint because he is 29, right? So he may or may not hit that 30-year-old um, running back wall. He's been getting hurt a lot. He's been getting dinged up a lot, and he's been missing a lot of time. I think this past year he missed 8 games, right? Was it 8 or 9 games with an injury? He missed another few games the year before that with a knee injury. And like again, they're not devastating hits, so it's not like you're tearing something, you're breaking something. It seems like he was dodging a lot of those, but I understand why the Packers uh, didn't necessarily feel the need to give him the money he wanted. Now the reports are from Diana Rossini was that the Packers wanted him to take a 50% pay cut, which I think it was supposed to be 17.5 million on the cap, I think, this year. So if they were trying to get him to 8.5, 9, he might have seen that as a little bit of a kick in the face or like a kick in the nuts, maybe in a way. And then maybe he was trying to get them up to 10 or 11, and the Packers just weren't having it. And the Packers basically got younger. They went from the age of 29 to a 26-year-old running back, and arguably maybe a better receiving running back out of the backfield. I would like to look at some of the numbers, but also I got a feeling they think that because Matt LaFleur is now going to have um, another running back and maybe a younger running back. Maybe they figure that they're gonna be able to scheme up a few more things. I do think that the Packers are still going to draft running backs. I don't see them shying away from that. So I'm very interested in seeing what they do with that. Let me just check here. I just want to check receiving. He's 197. And Aaron Jones. I just want to see how many catches Aaron Jones has, because that's the other thing. Aaron Jones wasn't really a huge monster out of the backfield, but he was still just a great running back. Yeah. So in more at 27. So in like 6 seasons. Yeah, I think that's the thing is Jacobs is also a better receiver out of the backfield. So in 5 seasons, Jacobs has had 197 catches. In 7 seasons for Aaron Jones, he has 272. So I guess you got to take that with how you want to split that up. But we'll see how this works out. But it is a very exciting thing. And then after that, the Packers were not done. In the beginning of the day, there was a rumor that the Packers were in on Xavier McKinney, the safety from the Giants, and a safety that it seemed like a lot of people had wanted, and a lot of teams had wanted. Matt LaFleur. Jeff Halfley had talked about getting a safety who can basically run everywhere, do everything that he needs him to do. Halfley's big thing is to not think, to play with speed and viciousness. And Xavier McKinney is coming from Wink Martindale's defense, which that team flew around. So we get this report that in the beginning of the day, the Packers were in it, but there were a few other teams, and so I'm thinking, listen, the Packers are probably not going to fork up the money he wants, which I think at the time was $17 million. He would want it to get paid, and I was like, the Packers, no way the Packers are playing this. I wouldn't pay it. Just get like a few other guys and just call it a day. Boy, did they shock us when we got the report that the Packers had signed Xavier McKinney, and I was like, holy smokes. I had texted all my group texts. I said, whoa, guys, it's happening. Xavier McKinney, he is signed, and they paid him the cash. The Packers really forked up the money. This is Brian Gutekunst, I think, really just saying, hey, listen, we have a window right now with younger receivers that are very cheap right now. And they don't have really any offensive line that they have to pay. There's no left tackle to pay yet. Let's try to go, quote, all in, and let's try to win a Super Bowl. Let's try to get something done here. Xavier McKinney, he was a great player from the Giants. I have a lot of friends who are Giant fans being in the New York area, and they loved Xavier McKinney. He's a really great player, and he's young. He's only 24 years old, I think. So basically the Packers are really set the youth up. The team that we have now is a team that is really going to be here for a while. They're going to be the ones to carry this. So this is Brian Gutekunst betting a lot on this. This is very exciting though. He's from Alabama, so these Alabama receive free safeties, and safeties are usually pretty good. We'll have to see how this one works out, but I am very excited. And guys, keep it here. I'm going to try to post more videos, more content. Guys, like and subscribe, and go Pack Go, baby.